Ẹ káàbọ̀. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's my welcome dance for you. Thank you for clicking on this video. If this is your first time or you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming on my channel again. So I got some feedbacks from the recent series on friendship in marriage saying, how do we even get to know the right person before getting married to them in the first place? I want to save myself of the trouble and the heartache. What did you look out for? What distinguished this person to make you really know that he or she is truly the one for you? And we're speaking with other couples who have been married, especially those that came on the channel with me here. We had a couple who's been married for 12 years, another couple for 54 years and counting, and are still happily married. With that, I make bold to say that that all they looked out for, the major things they looked out for, transcends the physical. It wasn't beauty nor steez like we hear in our world today. It wasn't darkness. It goes far beyond looks and charm. It's about deeper qualities that are not always so obvious. So today we'll be talking about another critical topic about relationship red flags and those things you should be mindful of before getting married. So if you're in a relationship, if you're in a serious relationship, or even not a serious relationship, or you're considering marriage anytime soon, understanding what might not be working on early can save you a lot of heartache down the line. Marriage is a long time commitment, and while nobody is perfect, there are some signs that indicate deeper issues, indicate lingering trouble, and an upcoming drama. So let's break down what red flags really look like and why you should not ignore them. First red flag: communication issues. Communication is the foundation of any healthy relationship. If your communication styles don't match or you constantly feel misunderstood, that's a red flag. You shouldn't ignore it. So let's explore some scenarios that could really point deeper issues in relationship. The first one is avoiding conflict. If your partner avoids difficult conversations or shuts down at any slightest disagreement, that's a warning sign. If your partner constantly shoves issues off and they would rather keep silent or prefer to, just ignore it. They prefer to just let it slide and just make up, it will certainly be not of a great help in a long-term relationship. You see, conflict is not a bad thing. In fact, conflict is how we grow closer to each other. But avoiding conflict entirely can lead to unresolved issues and resentment. Another communication sign or another red flag is gaslighting. Gaslighting is when someone makes you question your own reality. For an example, if your partner, frequently says things like, you're too sensitive, you're being over emotional, I never said that, when you really know they did, they are manipulating you into doubting your own experiences. Next is constant criticism. Constructive criticism is important, but constant nitpicking, belittling you, especially about things that make you feel insecure, can damage your self-esteem over time. If you find yourself constantly walking, it's as if you're walking on eggshells, you don't want to hurt him or you don't want to hurt her, it's going to cause a big thing, then it's time to address it. You really have to sit down and say, let's talk about this. Now let's move on to red flags in emotional and mental health. Emotional and mental health are very critical to long-term happiness in any relationship. It's very important to pay attention to how your partner manages stress, how they handle their emotions, and how they support you during your emotional needs. Lack of empathy. Does your partner listen to you and genuinely care about your feelings, or they brush out your concerns, or they just say you're overreacting? Oh, You're being too emotional. You cry about everything. You're thinking about too much. You're overthinking about it. You're over analyzing things. A lack of empathy means they're not so emotionally invested in your well being. And that can lead to a very lonely marriage. Mhm. Another point is emotional manipulation. This can take many forms of, it can take many forms or styles. It can be guilt tripping, playing the victim, or using your emotions against you. If you feel manipulated into doing things, or you constantly, find yourself apologizing for things you even didn't do, that's a major red flag. Now, another point is unresolved trauma. If your partner has unresolved emotional trauma, possibly from their upbringing, whether it's from their past relationships or their upbringing, then they are not actively working on healing. That can negatively affect your relationship. It's important to encourage them to seek help, but understand that you are not responsible for fixing their issues. You are not the helper. So they must be ready and open to get help. Red flags are red. They are always very obvious and you shouldn't ignore them. Now, if this resonated with you, like this video or subscribe. We're going to continue on my next video. Share this video with anyone you know who needs to hear this. Let's help each other in creating healthy and fulfilling relationships. Now, let me know in the comments what your red flags are, or what red flags you've experienced. If you've been married, what are those red flags that you've experienced or that you've seen and you think that are important for people to watch out for? I'll see you in my next episode. My name is Mabel, and on this channel, we talk about relationships, marriage, and family. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.